And we're recording. Hello, YouTube. YouTube, let me know if you pick heads or tails. It's a very important question that will... Well, it's just very important. Won't really do much. It will let everybody see who you truly are. Because everyone knows the most important thing about a person is whether they choose heads or tails. Whether that's negative or positive is up to you. That's fine. It's okay. Let me see. Okay. Honestly, I came up with this critical thinking question in like 5 seconds because I couldn't think of one. So yeah, I was like, yeah, sure, heads or tails, why not? What else am I gonna put? I can ask about shapes again. Like, how do you feel about the octagon? I think the octagon is very pleasant looking, a nice amount of sides. I respect it. Cause like I could absolutely just go like write questions about shapes or numbers or colors or plants. But sure, let's go with heads or tails, which is absolutely a question I've done before. There's no way it isn't. Every time I have to come up with a critical thinking question, it's like that one scene from SpongeBob where it's like a look into his brain and it's like everything is on fire. They're like burning like documents and stuff. That's what it's like. There's like glass everywhere, screaming, crying, everything, honestly. And then the moment I come up with one is finally the moment when the sprinklers turn on. It puts out the fire, but everything is still ruined. And then it repeats the next day. Simple as that. I don't have much else to talk about, so we might just end up jumping straight into the game here, because... yeah. Yup. Let me see something. One more time. Okay, no, we're fine. Cool, okay. Yeah, okay. Let me switch the scene over. I literally don't have much to talk about. I've just been playing Phoenix Wright. I'm sorry. Apollo Justice. I'm just going through the first game, and that's in the trilogy because it's been a minute since I played it. I finished I think I literally finished the first case like 15 minutes before I went live. That game's awesome. Anyways, we got affairs to figure out. Okay, yeah. So last time we got a bunch of documents and we decided to end it there. We got some pictures and we got the rest of the Piketty article that had a bunch of stuff on it. In total, I think we have only 2 affairs to figure out. Nope, I'm a liar. We have 3 affairs to figure out, and then we have one that has a picture missing, but we'll figure it out. We'll get there. We'll get there. The first thing we'll do is we'll look at the pictures. Okay. This photo is the first from a magazine interview with Cicely Sanchez and Piketty. The issue of Piketty magazine that it came from was pulled from the shelves when you managed to find it online. Piketty does not label its individual photos. Both photos were instead under the shared label. Cicely was provided these photos by the Roottrees company for use in her book. In the background of the photo, there was a Christmas tree. Okay. Who are you? Okay. And then here, this photo is the first from a magazine interview with Cicely Sanchez and Piketty. The issue of Piketty, yeah, was pulled, and it doesn't label. Okay. Oh, I just realized something, because we've been calling this an affair, but it's just it's an update, not an affair. Okay. Because it doesn't have this, and it also just says an update, so 2 of them got married. Okay. That's less awful. Okay, so that's those 2. And then we have the article. 2 pages. This is an interview with Cicely Sanchez, an author. She was hired to write a book about Guy Hudson. You claim to have been paid a significant amount to write a book about one of the Roottrees, Guy Hudson. He was president for a short period at the end of the 1970s, right? Yeah, he couldn't stop at the caviar. Yeah, I met him on New Year's Eve, actually, the last night of 1978. Guy liked to throw big parties. I was just coming off of Changed Man and looking for my next project. Okay, hold on. Let's highlight that. Oh, it doesn't need to go there, though. Hold on. What's her name? Cicely Sanchez? How do you spell it? Yeah. Come on. Okay, there we go. So she was coming off of Changed Man. There we go. Please. And looking for my next project. When his wife learned who I was, she invited me to the party, and they cornered me to talk about a book. That was the first time anyone recognized me from my work. I had finally made it. The book they asked me to write sounded great, but then none of the stuff that made him interesting was allowed to stay. Chop, chop, snip, snip. Anything with even the slightest threat to Guy's image ended up gonzo. What was the stuff that made him interesting? At his core, Guy was not complicated. In fact, I think I could boil him down to 2 traits. First, he wanted to be seen as the second coming of the great Elias Roottrees. And second, he'd never be satisfied living the life needed to be seen that way. He had his fortune and good looks, and he really liked to exploit that to pick up women. But he couldn't let anyone else know, so it cost him a lot to cover it up. That was the only interesting aspect of Guy. He was James Bond trying to convince people he was Mr. Rogers, I guess. Mr. Rogers, really? Maybe that's not the best metaphor, but Elias Roottrees was boring as all hell and all about family. Guy did everything he could to be seen that way. After I submitted my first draft, he sent me this garbage book, The Roottrees Legacy, with Elias on the cover. The last time he and I met, he had even switched out his orange suit for the same green one Elias wore. I remember fancy flavors. Guy knew that part of Elias's legacy was the 5-piece flavors, so that's what Guy tried to do. Caviar was a disaster here, but it was actually somewhat popular in Brazil for some reason. In Christmas 1979, he went to Brazil to open the Roottrees Brazil factory. Guy was always hopping around the world trying to recreate that success. So how come the book never came out? It's complicated. I had an out in my contract. Surprisingly, Guy signed the contract my lawyers wrote without running it by anybody in his legal department. I could pull my name off the book at any time, but Guy still got the content. After I left, it probably got a lot harder to convince any real publisher to give it their time. Okay. No, Guy is a fucking maniac. He was the president, right? Do you know why he never released it himself? If I had to guess, his family very wisely put a stop to it. Mid-1981, months after I had already moved on, he called me back and showed me a final draft. Do you know how expensive it is to publish one copy of a book? It had my name on it in big, shiny, embossed letters. Like all problems in his life, throwing money at me was his attempt to win me back. But it had half the page count and the narrative was torn to bits. No thanks. The dinner was good, imported steak that likely cost as much as a month of my mortgage, and we all got pretty drunk. He sent his mistress, Susie something, into the bathroom to proposition me. Poor girl. I remember her from our trips overseas. She was too good for him. Anyways, he died soon after, and that was the last that ever came up. What can you tell us about the family? Any insight into the scandals from the recent book by Sam Madsen? I actually haven't read it. I just skimmed the sections on Guy to see why people were suddenly calling me up to ask about the man. I'd say she did well for what she had to work with. She only had rumors, whereas I spent time tailing him. Sometimes he knew, sometimes he didn't. He invited me to join them when dealing with Roottrees Brazil, but I actually had people on him when he went to Australia, France, and China too. When he met with someone, I'd figure out who they were and how they were involved. Doubly so if the meeting happened when he didn't want me to be around. Despite his best efforts, I got the whole truth, including things even his family never knew. For example, the daughter of his business partner in Australia, I think her name was Robin, he and she definitely spent a few nights together. A few nights together that he didn't want his family to know about, but I did. Madsen got things wrong? Sam mentions Guy's affairs and treats them like most people would logically think to treat them. Like the infidelity was a problem for Patricia. When his wife first approached me, though, it wasn't to talk, if you get my meaning. On paper and in public, it was a marriage like any other, but in reality, it was more of a mutually beneficial arrangement. They both got what they wanted out of it, the same thing. What was that? I'm assuming I only have to spell it out so you can get it writing for your readers. Women. Patricia enjoyed the company of women, and the swinger scene made that more accessible. I told her I wasn't interested in her and Guy. Jesus. I found out later that if I had said yes, her next question would have been whether or not her husband actually had to be there too. Guy, on the other hand, was seen in a traditional marriage and at the same time could bed any women that found him charming. I can assure you, that was essentially the type of marriage he was interested in. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, good for her. It's just a whole... There's just a whole lot going on here. Oh my god, okay. There was a book mentioned. There's a few things mentioned. Where is it? I think her name was Robin. What was even the name of the partner? I don't even remember. I probably took notes on it. Roottrees, Australia. Oh, I might not have. Yeah, because I took notes on Roottrees China, but not Roottrees Australia. But that's fine. We can look it up real quick. And we can see if we can find the name. Roottrees Australia. Nope, can't look. I don't. Apparently, still don't know how to spell. What was his name? Charles Martin. So it would be Robin Martin, maybe. Yeah. Was it like this? Yes. There. I think we looked her up before. Yeah, we did look her up before. Okay. Interesting. Maybe she's in Business Watch? I don't know. I feel like we've done this. It's been a second. Did we read this? Apparently, Robin Martin sold off her father's assets in 1992, the year after he died, which combined with her inheritance immediately catapulted her to an almost unimaginable level of wealth. Well, the article does touch on the announcement of who took over the licorice division, as well as what was to become of the maple candy factory. The entire text seems to be dripping with contempt that someone would be willing to dismantle and gut such a successful company to earn a quick buck. The article ends with a dig at Robin's personal life and lack of traditional values, but who am I to judge? Maybe she sold it to ensure a better future for her own children. Oh wait. Jesus. Okay. Oh, we have another picture for Guy. We have a couple pictures for Guy, actually, because I think that's Guy, and this is Guy. I'm still missing a picture for Christine, and I don't know why. We'll find it eventually. Oh, okay. So, this kind of gives it away here. This is probably going to be whoever this is, I assume. Which means this is probably Sicily, maybe? Because my only assumption is the fact that we have pictures. It's possible that that she doesn't belong there. But she had another book. What was it? It was like Changing Man or something like that. What was it? Hold on. Changed Man. Let's see. Author would be Cicely Sanchez. And then the book title would be Changed Man. Oh. Unless it wasn't a book, but I don't know. Let me see. Fuck. Cicely Sanchez. Oh, Portrait of a Changed Man. That's what it is. Out of print. Fuck. Let's see. What if everything you stand for, everything you know to be true today could disappear in an instant? All of your politics, relationships gone in the blink of an eye. Would you still be you? Cicely Sanchez tells the powerful true story about a man who woke up after being saved from drowning in his backyard pool and became an entirely different person. Included are interviews from those that knew him best before, as well as a one-on-one chat that paints an entirely different picture. You won't be able to put it down without wondering, what if that were me? Okay. And then we have Foreign Gospel. Foreign Gospel? Foreign Gospel tells the tale of a man from the Catholic Church who claims he was told by God that he should travel to Thailand and began to preach, specifically with the goal to convert 10,000 people. He returned to the United States after just 2 years, claiming to have succeeded. This book tells his version of the story, but the author, Cecily Sanchez, also traveled to Thailand to investigate these claims and talk with some of the so-called converted. Okay. Okay. I don't know if these are important. It doesn't feel like it. Alright, well. God, I keep pressing the wrong buttons. There. There's just 2 things here, and I thought it was changed man, but I guess it's not. Right, the Roottrees Legacy is the book that we can't find, right? Like, it's so old that there's no copies of it. Yeah, Family Man. Are there any Roottrees Brazil leads? I don't think so, because I think the only thing it talks about with Roottrees Brazil, we can look though, is the fact that there was like a fire and stuff. Right, caviar was popular there. There was a town that was chosen. Right, it was controversial. Right, there was a fire, the Incendio de Bordo, and then there was a strike, and then yeah, there was the New Brazil Candy Corporation. Yeah, we do have a Christmas party photo. Did she say she went to Brazil? It was somewhere, yeah. Well, it says 1979, but I don't think it's... Well, she mentioned it, so I assume that's what the picture's from. So maybe, I guess maybe it's whoever these 2 are. Yeah. Maybe it has to do with... Not much information has ever existed about it. Okay, great. Nova Copacabana Gosses, Brazil. What if I look this up? I doubt I'll get anything, but I might as well try. It's the same thing. Okay. Oh, we might not have looked them up. Yeah, the mayor or whatever he was. Where is he? Wow, I can't even find the name again. There it is. I don't think we ever looked them up. Or maybe we did. I don't know. I could have sworn we did, but I guess we didn't. Edson Soares was a Brazilian politician. He found a dissertation published by a college student as part of their PhD in history. It focuses on the rise of democracy in Brazil. It seems up until 1988, Brazil was run by the military, and the politics during that time were often a hotbed for corruption and nepotism. The paper tells of a few politicians at the time, including Edson Soares. Edson is a former mayor of Avalagos, Brazil, before politics. He was a manager at an automotive manufacturing plant for a major American car company. He was put in charge of Avalagos by the military government in 1973. As mayor, he used his manufacturing background and knowledge of American business to establish new factories, distribution plants, and other business ventures in the area. This had 2 side effects. First, he became quite rich. Second, many locals were forcibly relocated. This did not make him a popular mayor, and what the paper speculates was a move to counteract this unpopularity. His wife Sonia was discreetly put in charge of a television station called Telerede? I have no clue. He often used this connection to ensure supporters would appear on the local television, spouting his beliefs and emphasizing his political victories. He remained in office until 1988, when he was defeated in the first election. After the military government was no longer in control. After this election loss, he quickly left the town behind. It is not known where he has gone, but the dissertation even speculates he likely fled to stay alive. Okay, so let's look up this Telerede. Okay, a former television station in Brazil. It came into being in 1970 after a vacuum was created due to the removal of a different network at the hands of the Brazilian military dictatorship. Due to a lack of resources, you don't have much to go on about who ran it and when. Well, we know it was Sonia Sorensen, right? Or not? Not Sorensen. Apparently, I don't know how to spell his last name. Sonia Soares, I'm sorry. This does not seem to be... There does not seem to be anyone relevant by the name of Sonia Soares listed anywhere online you can find. However, Spider Search does return a page that lists a news anchor in Brazil named Flavio Soares, who has a mother named Sonia. Okay. Flavio Soares. Here we go. Flavio Soares, a young Brazilian newscaster with a bit of a cult following. The discourse surrounding him is, to put it in polite terms, lewd. There's a website about something called fanfiction that has a... Oh my god. Really? That has a small section dedicated to him. It seems that women and some men of a wide variety of ages and writing skill tend to find him worthy of inclusion in their stories. You skim some of the tales there and learn that a common thread is that he's currently dating a supermodel named Ashley York. Many stories either seem to ignore her existence or get her out of the picture rather quickly. What? There are also other more traditional fan sites that list some things about him, including his age, 18, his zodiac sign Libra, his favorite food, grilled steak, and his mother's name Sonia. Also, it seems that Flavio translates to golden-haired. One website with a signed publicity photo of Flavio seems to confirm this. The photo has been added to your evidence. Okay. Some of the tales there and learn a common thread is that he's currently dating a supermodel named Ashley York. Ashley York is a British supermodel who does ads for perfume, clothing, and jewelry. She has been the subject of some controversy in the past few months, having been protested by PETA for wearing fur on the cover of some magazines. She's dating a young Brazilian news actor named Flavio Soares, which has brought them both somewhat into the limelight. Okay. Okay, so it's probably these guys then. So this is Edson Soares, probably. This is Flavio Soares. And he's a news anchor. And then this is Sonia, but I don't know what her original last name was. Because I don't think it says it. Oh my god, fucking fan fiction. Imagine being in 1999 and discovering fan fiction for the first time. You haven't heard about it. You're just looking up something and you're like, what? What is this? look. I don't know how to find her last name. It could be under this paperwork, maybe. But it would probably be under Soares. If it even was here, you know what I mean? Yeah, Susan Ford. I don't see it. Oh, they could be in Teen Blast. That's true. Yeah, because they would be. It did say they're in the limelight more. So let's see. How do I get there? Here we go. Periodicals. Let's see. Maybe Teen Blast. Flavio. Oh yeah, here it is. Let's see. Ashley York, a British model, appeared on the cover of Teen Blast wearing a fur shawl 3 months ago. This appearance doesn't lead to anything any more useful information, but another most recent appearance in text only mentions she's dating Flavio Soares. In it, a Teen Blast reporter asks how they met. I was in Rio for Carnival, and he was on one of the parade floats. I had no idea who he was, but I liked what I saw and told my people to invite him to the party I was going to. I felt pretty stupid once I realized that we were going to his party. Well, his mother's party. She runs a media empire down there called Transmisao Paulo. Okay. There we go. A massive media group owned and run by a mysterious woman named Sonia Alves. It seems Sonia Alves is a common name in Brazil, so she has shortened her name to Nia to stand out in the public's eye. According to a history page that's focused on her company and vague, unsearchable details, Nia received a significant inheritance in 1980 and invested it in many different manufacturing businesses. In her hometown in Brazil, at the same time, she had businesses in her hometown in Brazil. At the same time, she had just begun to learn the ins and outs of running a television network. She continued to work in television until in 1988, when Brazil began its period of reform. She felt this was the perfect opportunity to launch her own media company using her investment and connections. Now, her company owns television networks, magazines, newspapers, and advertising firms. After doing some translating, the page about Nia lists her as unmarried. It does not go into any other relationship history. Searching for Nia online, you learn that she stays out of the spotlight. She doesn't even appear at shareholder meetings. She sends a proxy. Oh my god. Okay, so her name is Sonia Alves. And she's a CEO? Is that what that would be? Maybe? Okay. We need 4 people, don't we? Oh no, we need 5, so we only have... No, we would have 5. Oh no, it doesn't count the spouses, I don't think. So we have 4. I'm really surprised that I don't have a picture for Christine. Is there a media job on the list? Maybe. I could check. Let's see. Because I know there's... oh, media mogul, maybe? Maybe that's more accurate? She does seem to have a lot of stuff with media, so... let me see... Chef's signature. Is there any way I can find a picture of her, like maybe through here? Because they talk about the Sistine Apple, but... and how it's like a pun, but... Yeah, I was gonna try and look it up, but I don't know what I would do there. Because there's something here still, but I don't know. Let me look this up. What? Joined by someone who with eclectic tastes, they claim to rate things on a scale from wicked awful to wicked wicked. That's awesome. The most recent thing to receive a wicked awful was an antique store called Bee's Things. Apparently the owner Beatrice is not very friendly. The most recent establishment to receive a wicked wicked is a comic book store in Cambridge, the Millionaire Picnic. As far as you can tell, nothing besides fried ice seems to be connected to your search in any way. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's true. That is a good point. She was probably there, because I think it's, oh god, what am I doing? Because the Christmas party would have been in 79, and she does seem to be like a secretary. What is like the next best thing to check here? Maybe, it would have been 79, right? Like here? No, because she would have been Christine Garland, right? Because she goes from Pharaoh to Garland. Yeah. So that might be, that could be Susan Ford, because I don't think we know what she looks like. Oh no, do we? I don't think we have a picture of her. Who's this? Oh god, there's two people here, but I don't know. Is that Zach's wife, maybe? I actually don't know. Maybe. It's certainly possible, but it doesn't look like she's dressed as a secretary. It sort of seems like she's there. That could be Guy's wife, maybe. I mean, yeah, that's true. It's certainly possible, because well, this picture would have been taken, I don't even know. I guess this is when he was changing from, like, the CEOs were changing. Which that would have been, like, the very first one, I think, here. Yeah, it would have been probably 76 to 77. I mean, it does say Christine Farrow was hired, so it's possible. Yeah, no, I'm just taking guesses here. It also could be Guy's wife, and because we do have two people from the original tree being shoved in here, so it could be anyone from there. So that's also a possibility. It's possible that it is Christine. Like this one. Yeah, it is. Okay. Let's go! Cool. Okay. Now we just have 2 more. The issue is this is one that we found, because I think we made the assumption that it's Susan Ford. And the issue that we found is the fact that we can't find any information about her. There's still stuff apparently in Pikachu, but I don't know. Or Piketty or whatever. Yeah, the Grandorf school. But I think we got like... We reached like a wall that we couldn't really find a way past. Oh, I don't remember what... It's like Grandorf something. Yeah, it was Grandorf Dove, okay. Or Dove, whatever. Well, the county serves as part of... Right, because there was like a... There was an event as well where like part of it got like ruined. It got like... What's the word? Vandalized. God damn it. Grandorf Dove, whatever, was at the center of a crime article in 1982. It seems that someone defaced the school and vehicles outside of the brand new Hudson wing of the school. There are multiple broken windows, and one of the teacher's cars was painted with profanities and accusations of infidelity. And that's why we were leaning towards the fact that it was Susan Ford. Correct the embarrassing lack of effort and awareness demonstrated by the government officials in those days. Right, then there was the Hudson wing. Right, she's not deaf, but learned sign language to communicate with the deaf. Yeah, she secured funding for the Hudson wing. Grandorf School of the Deaf. We can try that. I think it'll just send us back, but we can try it. Yeah, generously donate $250,000 towards the construction of the building. There's also a very vague history section that you can somewhat fill in with details from other information. Imagine she learned ESL from the main school. Yeah, to surprise her future husband who was deaf. Same article. Oh, what? Really? Okay. Grandorf School of the Deaf has made a few odd appearances here and there in the Butler County Times since 1990. It's not too many that you can't look at all of them. It's not too many that you can't look at all of them, so after scrolling through a few pages, you manage to find something incredibly useful. An article that isn't even focused on the school itself. Local students provide key evidence in scientific study. The article from March of this year, 1999, mentions that the Ford sisters, who attend public school in Butler County, are one of only a handful of identical twins in the world who suffer from 2 different genetic issues. One of them has asthma, and the other has a deadly allergy to peanuts. Their mother, a Miss Susie Ford, who is principal at the nearby Grandorf School for the Deaf, was originally contacted by researchers looking to identify if there were any sets of twins where one was born deaf and the other was not. While she didn't have any twins attending her school, she asked if her daughters, Melissa and Heather, could be useful, and it turns out they were. She says they couldn't be more different. My youngest, we all call her that even though it's only about 15 minutes, is shy, but essentially hasn't stopped running from the moment she learned to scamper. Asma has kept her sister off the soccer field, but she's the definition of extrovert, and is even performing in a local production of Is There Life After High School later this year. The article includes a picture of the girls added to your evidence. Okay. There we go. Oh, okay, I see. Inhaler and EpiPen. So that's how we determine who's older, who's younger. It says... Okay, so the oldest one is the one with the peanut allergy. I believe. Yeah, Melissa and Heather could be useful, and it turns out they were. Yeah, my youngest... I'm sorry, no, she's the youngest, I'm sorry. Yeah, so the youngest one is the one with the allergy. I just read it wrong. The oldest, the youngest, I believe. You? And then you. Does it specify their names? It does say Heather and Melissa. It doesn't really matter because we can just switch them if it's wrong, you know? Let's probably just do this with how they're listed. Ford. And then it's Melissa. Oops. Ford. And then I guess they're just both students. Okay. She's a principal, I believe? I don't have a picture of her, but maybe we can find one. I don't know, maybe I could look this up. I don't know. It's quite obscure, only appearing on Broadway for 70 performances after a preview period. Nowadays, it's mostly performed by smaller theater troupes, including high school drama clubs. If you couldn't tell by now, a game designer by the name of Jeremy Johnston was in musical theater all 4 years of high school. Okay. There's one song from it that was somewhat surpassed the popularity of the rest of the musical called The Kid Inside. If you'd like to listen to it, I recommend Barry Manilow's version. If you've heard the song before, it's likely that cover. The entire musical deals entirely with the traumas and nostalgia that society collectively shares about their formative years, which feels appropriately thematic for this game. I've always thought of it as somewhat ironic that they have high school theater clubs performing it, though. Anyways, the key word in that Butler County Times article was local. Okay. Thanks, man. Heather Ford. Okay, but that we know. Oh, that means it's flipped. I believe that means they're flipped. No, are they? No, we're fine. No, we're fine. We are fine. Oh, no. Wait. No, it is flipped, isn't it? No? Oh, I don't know. I'm losing it. Okay, no, yeah, no, I'm fine. I just misread it. Oops. Right. Okay, so that's done. I still don't have a picture of her. At least I don't think. Oh, it's probably her. I'm still missing another picture though, so I want to see if I can find the other one. I'm surprised there isn't like a picture just like on. That's not what I wanted. Oh my god, I'm opening everything. Like there isn't just a picture of like the principal of the school. I feel like that's very common. We still need to find out what the husband's name was, because I certainly don't know it. We know it's... Oh, wait. But she wasn't originally Ford. Right? Oh, no, but it says it says she was Miss, so it's probably fine? Yeah. Yeah, she probably changed it, then changed it back. Yeah. Maybe in the paperwork it changes? Let's see, hold on. Oh my god, please somebody save me. No, I just went off the game, come back. Maybe in the paperwork her name changed somewhere? I don't think it did, because I think it referred to her as... Yeah, it just says Susan Ford. Hired Lena Lewis. What? Oh, but she wasn't a secretary, she was something else. She was like a translator. Yeah, it just says Susan Ford. Susan Ford was hired under a special category that only existed for 1 year. So yeah, I don't think she's here. Interesting, okay. Did it say what the nationwide study was called? Yeah, it did actually. There's an article. Local students provide key evidence scientific study. Oh no, but this is the article from Butler County. Okay. Wasn't there someone who got arrested? I don't remember. It mentions that there was like there was a vandalism and there was like about infidelity and stuff like that. But it doesn't mention whether or not someone got arrested, I don't believe. I keep opening the wrong things. Please. My youngest will call it that, even though this is showing. This is a soccer field. Unless there's something in the picture I'm missing, but I don't think so. No. That's just a brick wall. Yeah, some nationwide study. It would only be listed under Grandorf. Yeah, let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Did I never look that up here? I thought I did. No, we did. Yeah, it seems that someone defaced the school and vehicles outside the brand new Hudson wing. There were multiple broken windows, and one of the teacher's cars was painted with profanities and accusations of infidelity. Oh, wait, what? When did... What? Did I just not scroll down, or is this new? I guess I just never scrolled down, maybe? I just kept here? I'm just really good at this game. Thomas Hughes, who was coincidentally a former student at the school. Apparently the destruction came weeks after he married the school's newest teacher, Mrs. Hughes. She was not a teacher when he went. He graduated a few years earlier. According to the reporter's investigation into the police reports, trials, and restraining orders, Mr. Hughes was convinced that he was not the father of Mrs. Hughes' current pregnancy. He was released on bail, and the school has agreed not to press criminal charges after an agreement was made to pay for the damages and for the couple to begin the divorce proceedings. It seems that Thomas Hughes, Mrs. Hughes, and the Hudson Wing have all avoided further appearances in Butler County Times. Okay. Jesus. Okay, so her name isn't Ford, it's Hughes. And then this is was it Thomas? She is referred to at post this article, but legally her original last name would still be Hughes, I believe. Would it be though? Because she would have originally been Hughes, and then she got a divorce. Oh, I'm messing up. Yeah, no, I'm mixing up the last names. No, you're right. God, I'm a mess. You're right. That's my bad. Right, she was Susan Ford, became Hughes, then went back to Ford. Ugh, Jesus. Yeah, so it's Thomas Hughes. I had that mixed up. Okay. And then we could probably look up Susan Hughes and maybe get something from that. But I think it says she never appeared again. Yeah. Did I spell that wrong? Probably. I think I did. Yeah, no, nothing. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so that's these guys. I'm still missing her picture, her other picture, wherever she is. Like, I feel like I should have been able to find another one, but I don't. Like, I definitely don't have another one. It just says she's the principal, and I thought I could have found a picture through that, but I guess not. Yeah, I guess not. I don't know where I would find another picture of her. Well, maybe we'll find it later. In some random picture. Okay, so that's this completed. So now we have to figure out this. But I don't even know where to start. Because I don't even think we have any... Oh, I guess we have Zach. So I guess Zach probably married somebody else? Let's go to Butler County and look up Zach. Is it Mordson? Mordson? Where is he? Morden, that's what it was. Let's see. Nope, that's an X. Really? Okay, well that's not great. Not a great start. Does it say when this happened? Because it does say it's an update. Yeah, 1998, so last year. Do I have to put his full name? No. I assume I don't. It wouldn't make any sense. Because he would have been called Zach. Okay, let's look at this. This isn't gonna help me. There's still something here on page 2, and I feel like it has to do with the fact that, yeah, that Patricia was like mainly into women, maybe. Have I looked her up? Would she just be Patricia Hudson? Or I guess whatever her original last name was, maybe? I can look up both. Maybe? Oh, no, this is old as fuck. How about just Jones? Well, not great. Fuck. Yeah, because I think this is too old. Or news time, maybe? I don't know. I don't know, I'm trying here. Oh no, they're both dead. I'll be honest. Didn't realize they both died in that car. Like, I don't remember that. I don't remember it ever saying that. I'll be real. Wasn't their daughter pregnant? Which one? I mean, they both had... I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong page. They didn't have a child. It looks like. Granddaughter? Stephanie Landon? I don't even remember her. That's their great niece. Ah. Yeah, because it doesn't... I'll be honest, I don't remember... Maybe I just didn't, like, think about it, but yeah, no. But she was pregnant? Stephanie Landon? Who was she? Who was Stephanie Landon? I don't remember. Oh, the politician. That's right. That's true. I guess she would. Maybe that's what it's talking about, but like... That's probably what it's talking about. That makes sense. I wouldn't... I guess that would be an update. Okay, let's try that. Yeah, new Roottrees born. Let's see, hold on. Stephanie. This is old as fuck. yeah, I'll probably spider search it. Because where was she on this tree? I don't remember. Oh yeah, she was right here. Okay. Yeah, and I guess she would be Stephanie Jones now. Let's see, hold on. Stephanie Jones. Nope. How about... Am I spelling that wrong? I am. Oops. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. Seems Brian Jones has been busy updating Stephanie Jones' campaign website. 2 new sections exist. The first is Baby Photo. There you see a picture of their new family together in the hospital. According to the site, our daughter was named after her grandmother, which ended up being very fitting considering she was born the night before Christmas. The second is What's Next? There's not much of substance there right now, but it lists some small accomplishments and finishes with the recent rise in popularity and controversy surrounding my extended family, there has been some extra attention on me. Stay tuned for announcements in the coming months, and our plan to use this publicity to accomplish bigger and better things. Cool. Named after grandmother. Okay. So this is probably you. This is you. Stephanie Landon. You're a politician still. You're Brian. Yeah, because it says she was named after... Brian Jones posted this photo after the family in the hospital upon the birth of the newborn. His new daughter is wearing an adorable little Santa hat, and his wife Stephanie is giving sinister thumbs up. Move from her campaign literature. Our daughter was named after her grandmother, which ended up being very fitting considering she was born the night after Christmas. Yeah, because it does say... Yeah, the grandmother's Caroline, right? I'm lost. I'm lost. I lost it. Hold on. Found it. Is it just... Yeah, it's probably Caroline. Or Carol. Yeah. Occupation, baby. There we go. I'm still missing a photo. I'm missing the other photo of Susan Ford. I think I'm missing a photo of Susan Ford. I think I'm missing a photo of Guy. Oh, hey guys.
Hi again. I know you probably thought you were done.
No, I know I wasn't. I saw the folder.
But it turns out what you're doing here might have some pretty major repercussions on the family tree.
Oh, what a surprise.
Again. Also, there's something really strange happening. I can't explain it.
Neither of us can.
I'd call it a simple misunderstanding, but it's digging at the pit of my stomach. I just have a feeling. Clark?
Last week, let's just say being the president, sometimes people bring me things.
Okay.
Just skip to the important part.
Right. One of our janitors brought me some hair she'd found in Ruby Spratt's trash.
Ah, okay.
It was Bonnie Hudson's. Bonnie is Guy's sister. She'd sent us her hair to test potential Roottrees, since her DNA is closest to Guy's. But Ruby threw it out, and I wasn't sure why she would have done that. Especially right before we began testing the tree you provided. When I asked, she told me she thought the samples needed to be fresh every time they did a test.
It seems really odd. Ruby was the one who convinced us to do DNA testing in the first place. She seemed so knowledgeable. I don't like it. You've done more of a deep dive on these people than anybody else has. Clark will keep a closer eye on the DNA tests from now on. You have an eye for anomalies. We need you to find the smoking guns.
If there's anyone you're 100% positive can't be a Roottrie,
Or any you've got definitive evidence are Roottrees, then we might be able to catch Ruby in a lie.
What? Oh god, I have to like go in and mark whether or not they are or aren't. Wow, that's ridiculous. Whew, okay. After putting together the tree of potential new Roottrees, Clark and Sam appeared at your door together. According to Clark, Ruby Spratt, the company's lawyer, was caught throwing away the DNA samples from Bonnie Hudson. These were intended to be used to test new potential Roottrees. Something doesn't sit right with Sam, and the two of them asked for your help. You're hoping that with they are hoping that with your evidence and understanding of the family tree, you could verify which people in the dotted boxes are almost certainly legitimate Roottrees. Very unlikely to be legitimate Roottrees, and which of them are too ambiguous to make a decision one way or another. Additionally, with the suspicion on Ruby Spratt, it's possible that some of her behaviors in the past have also been cast into doubt. A new section of the tree has been added for you to fill in. Oh my god. It could absolutely be like the Anonymom stuff, yeah. And input deductions. You'll then be able to end your search and reveal the truth. You have 13 possible Roottrees left to identify. Oof, okay. I'm trying to think of which ones we know for sure, and I don't have an answer. I think we know that Stuart isn't a Roottrie. Dad is the producer, but Mark is since he was born and put in the basket. Mark's appearance was a mystery because that's her biological son disguised. Oh, who are we? Are we talking about? Yeah, we're talking about Mary Beth, right? Right. I see. Because with these ones, these guys, I think it was like... right, so like, I don't think Mark can be because he's adopted, right? Right, but she adopted... oh god. Right, no, yeah, no, they're both miracles. The main thing we have to determine is whether or not by blood they're a Roottrie, right? Because that's the whole thing with the Clancy Trust, is whether or not they're like blood related. I think Stuart can though, right? Was he there before? I don't remember that. We can look it up real quick. Hold on. We're gonna have to... We'll have to look into it. Hold on. Because I have a page on her, I remember. Oh, not a long page, though. Yeah, I'll have to look up Mary Beth Clementine. She adopted 2 children in the 1940s, Stuart and Mark. It surfaced that Mary Beth had been twice divorced, both times to her manager, Sterling. That doesn't really answer my question, because it could have been... This one's adopted later, according to a single line of one that was set under unusual circumstances. Yeah, maybe under Butler County. Doesn't mention any children. Oh no, yeah, it does say she and her son are welcome to stay in our guest home. Yeah, so I guess, like, this is so weird. So Stuart... Oh, these are smoking guns? Yeah, because it says they are... If he's adopted, then it can't be. Okay, I see. So, like, green check mark, that, and then this question mark, it's ambiguous. Which means Stuart cannot be a Roottrie, yeah. Because it specifically says... Yeah, she and her son are welcome. And I felt a kinship with Mary Beth ever since I heard her voice. When I learned her personal story, I knew I had to help her in whatever way I could. The Bible was full of adoptions from Moses to Esther. Spending your life taking care of those helpless to help themselves and could be noble. She and her son are welcome to stay in our guest home. Yeah. So yeah, so Stuart Clementine can't be. Oh my god. Okay, so this... Oh, we're missing something. We are missing a clue about Mark Clementine. Maybe it's a Butler County Times article? Or not? Did I spell it right? Oh, what if we look up, what do they refer to him? Basket baby? Was it basket baby? Is that what they refer to him as? Yeah. Fuck. Okay. Fuck me, I guess. Interesting. We're missing an evidence. Toasterito Jacobson. What the fuck was up with this? Was there just somebody named Lucinda, but what was the point of that? You can look it up and see if I'll eventually reach it, because I don't know. I remember them doing this whole thing, but we never had a reason to look up Lucinda. But why is Lucinda a smoking gun? Who is she? Do I know? Oh, what? Who's what? Oh, right. I forgot about this. I feel like we did look this up, didn't we? Yeah, the whole like Edith and Lucinda thing. Yeah, so I guess we have to look up Edith. Yeah, we never looked up Edith. Or just Edith. No, there's nothing there. Mentions a Helen Roottrees and a Lucinda Jacobson. 71, she's 18. Neither Lucinda and Lucinda were arrested. Is it the smoking gun we're missing? Oh, yeah, now it's there. Okay. I could have sworn we looked this up before. But what's so smoking about it? What makes it a gun? I guess I'll just read it real quick. And also mentions that Helen Roottrees and Lucinda Jacobson. In 1971, when she was 18, Edith and her sister Lucinda were arrested for trespassing at the Miracle Congregation's church in Butler County. They were pretending to be church employees in an attempt to get into the room where the church houses their weekly tithings. The church didn't press charges. They were caught by Helen Roottrees, who was there at the time while her husband, Miracle, was away preaching. Helen Roottrees was quoted by saying, "Jesus forgives, and so do we. The Lord works in mysterious ways, and I'm confident He has brought these young women to us for a greater purpose." I'm so confused. Yeah, to find out Helen's name. But like, who's Helen? Helen Roottrees? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, in the original one. That's true. But like, what does this get me? Like, what is special about Edith Jacobson? Yeah, but I don't know what's her deal. She wouldn't be mad about an affair, I guess. So, because like Toaster Jacobson gets us to Lucinda, Lucinda gets us to Edith. We know that. We know he was a basket baby. She's a rather prominent supporter of the concept of adoption, and someone decided to test how much, so that the baby on her doorstep in a basket. Became known as the basket baby, and even went on tours with her as he grew up. None of the websites state who the woman or baby were, likely to prevent people from looking into either of the people too closely. From context, you know that it's Mary Beth Clementine, who would later be shunned due to her personal life, and her son Mark, who would later be known as Crocodile Clementine. Right. Okay. Okay. This is such a weird one. This is a very, very weird one. I could definitely see him being a root tree, but my question here is like, and why I'm not sure is the fact that like we could make the assumption that he is a root tree, right? Just by assuming like, yeah, these two had an affair that led to Mark, and that they made up a lie that Mark was left at the doorstep to like get rid of any possible rumors, right? But if that's the case, I'm trying to think of why these would be smoking guns. Like, why is Toaster Dorito Jacobson and Edith Jacobson so important? Like, why would Lucinda bail out? Because I think the whole thing is that Lucinda bailed Mark out of jail. Yeah, maybe they are there to throw me off. That's possible. Does this mention Mark anywhere? I don't think it does. The article mentions that her first visit was a massive success, and at the insistence of Miracle's congregation, she's returned for an encore performance. It also mentions that the unusual circumstances of her second son's adoption have prevented her from touring recently, but doesn't clarify. Right, because that's the whole, basket thing. He could absolutely be a root tree, and I'd believe it. Let's put is a root tree. Let's come back to it. Let's come back to it. Let's come back to it, just in case. Okay, and then we have Elias and Bess. This one I think is the one that's kind of hard to like determine. Cruelty. Oh, right. This is the one where it's like it talks about her having a lisp. Yeah. Eliath. Right, and that's why like it wasn't Beth, it was Bess. Then you have this 6 pieces thing, but I don't know what this is. Oh, right. This one is referring to. Wait, no. What is the thing in here that's special? Oh, yeah. May have also cheated on Gwyneth. Gwyneth was always so much kinder to Sam. Yeah, who's Beth? Right. Then you have the whole thing about Frank, like, he could barely remember his mother and had no memory of his father. After the war, he ran a construction company that mainly hired World War II veterans and did a lot of jobs in and around the greater Miami area. Yeah, he's survived by Ophelia. And then there's the update on Bess Williams. I don't know. Like, this one feels like realistically probably is. I don't really know why it wouldn't be possible to prove. Because there's evidence of an affair. Let's come back to this one. This one is a weird one as well, I feel like. Oh my god, we're missing a couple clues for... We're missing a bunch of clues for this guy. Oh my god. We'll do that one last before I start crying. Okay, okay. Oh god, I don't even know. I guess we can start with Christine. Are we missing stuff for her too? No, we have all of them. Yeah, there's the 6-piece stuff, because I think it brings up Christine. Right, I think it's the stuff about Antonelli's. They eloped due to pregnancy. I think that's what it's talking about. Yeah, because a caterer. Chef's signatures. That yeah, it's the stuff about them. 3 years younger than James. Jokes that although the age difference has left him delegated to wear the sous chef jacket. Yeah, this is a situation where one is and one isn't. Like, the older one is. What's with the company records? I think it's just showing that Kristen worked, right? Yeah, Kristen Farrow, or Christine Farrow. And I think somewhere here it says, like, yeah, Christine Garland is no longer working. Is no longer working because she became Christine Farrow. Or, no, other way. Wait, what? Did I misread? Christine Farrow. Christine Garland is no longer working for Roottrees. Oh, I guess she just left in between? Okay. Yeah, I think that's the only one that makes sense. I think, yeah, James is, if she eloped. Bum, 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 bum. So I think James Garland is, Robert Garland isn't. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, then we have Lang Min. This one is... I think this one is difficult. Oh, we're missing clues as well. Lord. Let's come back to it. How about you? Are we missing stuff for you? Of course we are. What a surprise. Interesting. Oh my god. So yeah, we're missing 2 stuff about Lang Min. Is she in the company records? Or is this just talking about, like, China and stuff? Like this, like the Roottrees China. Yeah. Hanging with the Hans, I think, was like an article. Yeah. I don't think we did search the companies. Well, Business Watch isn't specifically the companies, it's about the people, right? Oh no, I guess it is companies as well. It seems heavily focused on company leaders, though. I think we did. I think we looked them up. We can look it up, though. It doesn't hurt us. Let's see. The article details a new medical industry. In vitro fertilization was brand new, barely a year old. After the first successful IVF birth in 1978, it seemed the industry began to grow, and a featured article about different companies all over the world and the cost that they could charge for their service was in Business Watch. This included a few cases of high-profile customers willing to pay a premium. Apparently at the time, the CEO of Lang Tai was Lang Hongbo, and his young daughter, Lang Xinyao, and her husband could not have children. So in an attempt to create a suitable heir, he paid Qi Zhen's to have their child implanted in his older daughter, who was unmarried. The cost of this was apparently 380,000 yuan, or over 100,000 USD. Jesus. It could be a cover-up. It's true. So that's probably the other piece of evidence. What is the other company? Oh yeah, Qi Zhen. I'm sure this is just gonna give me the same thing, but maybe I can look up. Yeah, it's Qi Zhen's, okay. It was a medical company with operations in both the US and China that made international news in '94 after a whistleblower came forward. Apparently their services in some cases were falsified. While they did often perform IVF, the whistleblower proved that a few of their customers paid for a very different service, an alibi. The company would claim they performed IVF on someone who was already pregnant to create a cover story for high-profile families who did not want to give up the child, but did not want the shame of an unmarried mother. The whistleblower claimed that they had helped to do this at least 6 times, but they only provided proof of one case. The daughter of an American politician who was unrelated to your investigation. Qi Zhen's shut down soon after, and both founders have reportedly fled to Lebanon, where there's no extradition to either China or the US. Okay, so yeah. Oh, that's not even the evidence that we're missing. Okay, how about here? It seems that a whistleblower came forward to U.S. government, Qi Zhen's, which was said to have been founded in China. The article also mentions the whistleblower claims Qi Zhen's will sometimes claim that they perform IVF when they did not. This would often be used as an excuse for an otherwise unexplainable pregnancy. They'd fly their clients to America, where they would stay for an extended period of time, then return to China with news of a successful IVF pregnancy. The whistleblower apparently presented the Department of Health and Human Services with credible evidence. At the time of the article, it is still an ongoing investigation, but Business Watch speculated, after copies of the proof were leaked to various media sources, that they couldn't imagine a world in which the company would be allowed to continue operations without facing serious legal or financial consequences. So yeah. So she probably is. That was the other one. So yeah, it's probably a good bet that she is a Roottrie. Just the product of a cover-up, where a guy went to China, impregnated Xinyu, resulting in Lang Min, and then they tried to cover it up with the IVF stuff. Yeah. That makes sense. I can believe it. Okay, and then here we have Sonia Alves and then Flavio. We're missing something here. Maybe something with Transmi Sao Paulo. Oh, what if we look up Nia? Because she went by Nia, right? So what if you look up Nia Alves, maybe? Or maybe in Business Watch. Did we already do this? I don't remember. Oh no, we didn't. Okay, let's read this. Nia Alves owns many forms of media in Brazil under the umbrella of Transmissão Paulo. Business Watch has mentioned her by name a few times. The most relevant appearance seems to be an article about the struggle of American media companies to do business with their foreign counterparts due to a difference in laws. A few media groups and countries are discussed, including those in Africa and the Middle East. Transmissão Paulo in Brazil is also discussed. Due to lack of freedom of speech laws in Brazil, there has been added bureaucracy in publishing certain stories on Transmissão Paulo. It is extremely private about her identity and supposedly once used her connections to have a reporter fired from a rival network and blacklisted. Oh my god! These guys suck. Some of these people they're kind of awful. The journalist claimed that this was to shut down a story he was doing about her personal life, including that her marriage in 1973 was not of her own choice. His research claimed that she essentially had her husband forced upon her as a child bride at the age of 15. Oh my god. Oh god, that's awful. Jesus. Child brides were not outlawed in Brazil until 1990. It also claims that past appearances with her husband have been for show. They do not live together, and that she resents her own parents for the arrangement. Yeah, I'm sure. Never mind. I understand not wanting this to be public. Jesus. The final claim was that she must have made her money under the table through nefarious and possibly illegal means during Brazil's dictatorship, as his research uncovered that she could not possibly have earned enough to start a media company otherwise. After making this statement, the reporter went into hiding in fear of his safety. What probably happened is, yeah, she was not in her marriage by choice. She had an affair with Guy. And then maybe Guy is the one who invested in her company. That would make sense. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Maybe, I don't know. I could certainly see it, you know. This one feels like there's not a ton of evidence for it, though, is the issue. I mean, I guess there kind of is, right? Because of there was money invested in the 80s. There is the Christmas party photo, that's true. Yeah, I guess he is. I don't see why there'd be a reason to doubt it. Okay, then we have Susan and the two daughters. And with them, it's either they either both have to be or they both can't be. Page 2. Was there something about it in here? I don't remember. Oh, maybe it's talking about Susie. Susie being Susan. That would make sense. And then there's the company records that proves that she worked there. And then there's the whole article about them. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think this one is definitely, yeah. I don't see why we would say no to this one, because it definitely feels like a yes. Now we have 5 Ps, which is scary because we're missing a bunch of stuff for some reason, but we can get there, so it's fine. So we have all your problems, which is the lyric stuff. Did we ever look up root of all evil? Maybe that's what we need. Was this it? Nope. We tried. It was the first and only single release after dropping. Oh, did we ever look up Stevie Whitlock? I don't remember. Oh, right. No, we did. Yeah. Yeah, it's 12 inch cellular actual average of 11.5. Yeah. I remember. Where would I get this? Maybe it's something in the lyrics? Because it doesn't say that, like, the lyrics don't have anything in them. The master checking out your dads. Obvious glance of trust. No, I'm not seeing anything here. Oh, is he from Portland? I don't remember that. You have freaky memory? I respect it. Let's see if you're right. Because I don't remember that. Let's see. 5 Ps? Oh, I guess he is. Since Felix Fellows, aka 5 Ps, converted to be a Roottrees, there's been a myriad of articles in his hometown's newspaper that mention him. Nothing appears to be new information. It all rehashes the News Time article and his web search results. The newspaper music critic did not receive his latest album. They gave it a 3 out of 5. Okay, what if we look at the mother? Because didn't the mother die of an overdose? Would have been Christine. I don't know if he used Robertson or not. No. Or maybe Fellows. Nope. I don't know. This is a weird one. God, I don't know how to spell names. Oh, her name's not Christine, it's Joanna. I'm thinking of Pharaoh. My bad. Not only do I not know how to spell, apparently I can't read either. How do I spell Joanna? Okay, it's just okay, got it. Okay. Breathed a few times around the time of her death. The first time was about the discovery of her body. The second time had some other detail about the night she disappeared. It reiterates some things that were mentioned in the News Time article about her son. She was a single mother who worked at a video rental store. She did have her drug overdose after stealing from the cash register. The rest of the details seem unimportant to your search. Okay. Weird. All your problems. Does it have to do with like the music? I feel like I looked up all the music. Yeah, Second Jump was like a movie, wasn't it? The song, okay. I wouldn't know what else to look up here. The father, maybe? Riley Fellows? I doubt it. No. I wonder if Fellows isn't the Roottrees and the anonymous baby is because Fellows could give her more money out of the notoriety. It's possible, yeah. Interesting. Let's go to the, I guess we can go to the issue and see if we can find anything we didn't highlight or copy and search. As I'm trying to spend on heroin. There's a hairbrush, right? Some photos. Was born to Riley and Joanna Fellows, but has never wrapped it into a moniker. Right, for selling street corners in Portland. What about, what was it, Dirty Davy? What did we look up Dirty Davy? It was like Dirty Davy? Yeah. Found an article about the dedication ceremony for the local Portland landmark called the Fountain of Youths. Apparently at the unveiling of the fountain, the mayor of Portland made a speech, and there were performances by local entertainers as well as a ribbon cutting from the people most instrumental in bringing the fountain to fruition. The article calls out that all the performers and speakers, with the exception of the mayor, were foster care alumni, and most of them grew up as close friends. This includes poets, musicians, and dancers. Dirty Davy is listed as one of the musicians. Okay. How about we look up the Fountain of Youths? Also known as Foster Fountain, is a fountain found in a small park in Portland. All proceeds from change thrown into the fountain are donated to the foster care system. A website for Portland's Parks and Recreation mentions under a trivia web section that the Fountain of Youth was originally conceived by Ruby Spratt, an alumni of the foster care system. Oof, okay. Interesting. As more businesses signed on as sponsors, it grew in scope, even beyond Spratt's original hopes. The fountain is unique because it has special targets that visitors can aim their coins towards. If a coin lands on one of these targets, each of the sponsor businesses matches it. This isn't a huge amount of money from each business, but more than 100 businesses have agreed to participate, so each penny becomes $1. Interesting. Interesting. How interesting. Where can we go from here? Yeah, Ruby Spratt in the Portland News, maybe? Is it like that or is it an I? Fuck. Hold on. It's IE, okay. Oops. Okay. Ruby Spratt was featured in the Portland Telegraph when she was in high school in an article called Local Teen Making Change for Foster Care System. According to the article, Ruby Spratt grew up in the foster care system. Grew up in the foster care system, was apparently the valedictorian of her school, and was as a Girl Scout. Was the valedictorian of school and was as a Girl Scout who, at the time of the article, was earning her Gold Award. This required a project to help the community, and Ruby chose to raise money to build a fountain she called Foster Fountain. The fountain has a few small pedestals that stick up high above the water. People are expected to toss coins into the fountain for good luck, and will be encouraged to aim for the top of the pedestal. All the coins scraped from the bottom are slated to be donated to Portland's foster care system. A coalition of local businesses that sponsor the fountain have committed to matching any of the donations that successfully land on the targets. Interesting. Okay. Come on! I know I copied it. No, we've already seen this. Where can I go from here? Because we're still missing one that's here. We're also missing one down here. Well, that's we're missing two here, but we'll get there. Look at the Roottrees Rift. Right, does that have to do with like the three like documents? What if I look up 6 pieces? Did I ever do that? I guess not. I guess I did. Later, the book re-entered. Addictive. Maybe I look up the title of the book. Maybe that'll get me something. Hello? No. The same thing. Yeah, because there's the stuff about Ruby Spratt in here. Yeah, she was in high school. She grew up in foster care, valedictorian, Girl Scout. There's a view of a few smaller pedestals. I don't know where to go from here. Let's look at this. Ruby Legal Enterprises was featured in Business Watch. Is Ruby Legal Enterprises based out of Portland? There's a chance. No! No. Okay. Oh my god. Roottrees, low-profile lawyer. She offered to work for a little money. What am I missing? Other issues. Did they actually ever mention if changes were made to the Clancy Trust? Should have been all been covered under the trust. According to the wording revealed during an internal family conflict between Ron and Robbie Roottrees, it seems that those who wrote the trust, Clancy Edward Roottrees, and as the direction of Elias Roottrees, purposely deceived the rest of the family about the exact details of how it worked, in an attempt to keep Sam and her father, Edward Clancy, in comparative poverty. Because the rest of the family made money hands over fist, they had very little motivation to question their understanding. I'll facilitate this. The inheritance aspect of the trust is now under the control of a third party. This ensures that the financial motivations of Roottrees family members will not interfere with the investigation of potential new Roottrees. Except it did, clearly. Clearly something got fucked up. Right, they sued Cicely Sanchez about the book and stuff. I remember that. But I feel like there's something I'm missing. And I don't know what. What is it? I don't know. Maybe we can look up this in news time. Issues cause this up faster. And there's these two here, right here. Oh my god, it's over for me. I'm not gonna get out of here. Threaten them. Cause I don't know if I could put it in another article, another news, maybe, but. I don't know. Business Watch? I think we already did that. Cause like I'm trying to think of like information. Maybe it's something with Anonymom. We never did look up Jane Doe Roottrees, I don't think, did we? I don't know. Maybe somewhere in news time. Anonymom news time came this week after there's an apology for reaching in the first place. Right, we did do that, okay. The third evil magazine. That's true. I didn't think about that. Let's see. Oh yeah. Did we ever see this? We might have. They said Anonymom worked as a manager at a department store in North Carolina, and her daughter's name was Courtney May. They also said that the woman had vouched for her famous cover story. They didn't identify news time, perhaps to avoid being sued. Is named Corrine S., and that she had filed for bankruptcy. The article speculates that Anonymom and Corrine were in on it together, and even speculates that they might have been lovers. Piketty is not a credible publication. The information wasn't particularly actionable. Very few people seem to notice or care. Interesting, okay. I think I have a page in my journal for Anonymom. I thought I did. I guess I don't. Hello? Please? Sorry. Her daughter's name was Courtney May. They said that the woman that vouched for him as cover story is named Corinne S. Okay, cool. Not exactly what I was looking for, but cool. What if I look up Ruby Spratt here? Nothing? Cool. Oh, we never looked up 5Ps here. How about 5Ps? Nothing? Cool. Can we look for any surnames starting with S or a Korean in the employment file since it's a guy affair? Yes, we can, actually. That is a good point. Let's see. It probably be secretary. I feel like that's like the common thing with him. Christine, Johanna Robertson, Joanna Fellows, Beth Knox, Joe Miller, Gwyneth Madsen. Corinne Schwartz. Is probably who that is. I don't know. Huh. So what was it saying specifically? It's saying that Anonymous and Corinne might have been lovers. Okay. It's true that they could be the lovers, that's true. It could also be the case that maybe that instead of them being lovers, Anonymom is just Corinne. Right? Like that feels like the most realistic thing? Or another realistic like way to go about it? It could also be that Beatrice and Corinne... I don't know. Because in terms of, like, the affair, it's only one person listed here. And then it's the daughter, Courtney May, who is married to someone. Interesting. I don't even know where I would get started on this. It'd be Corinne Schwartz. Would I look that up in Butler Times, maybe? I don't know if that would get me anything. How do I even spell her name? I don't even remember. It's 2 R's. Okay. You know how to solve it? Go for it. Tell me. I believe in you. I messed up. Let's see. Courtney May Schwartz, and if that doesn't work, okay. Where would I even would I look this up with Butler County, or would I look this up somewhere else? Oh, just in spider search? Yeah, I guess that's true. Courtney May Schwartz. Nope. And then it would be... Oops. Watts? Oh, yep, there you go. You nailed that one. Courtney May has a simple website with black text on a white background and a few images. From the view counter, you can tell you're one of the only few hundred people who has visited it. She's not shy about claiming she is Jane Doe Roottrees. As proof, she has posted an obscured cover from the time she was featured on News Time, as well as a different picture of herself that appears to be a wedding photo. The website seems to be created in defense of her mother, who has been the target of public scrutiny. Okay. The website seems to be created under the headline, The True Story of Jane Doe Roottrees, courtesy of Courtney May Newton, formerly Watts. Courtney May writes, everyone has everything wrong. My mom approached the Roottrees before 5Ps was ever on the cover of News Time. Nobody at the Roottrees company took us seriously. They only listened to us after she appeared on TV and in magazines. The site has a scanned letter from the Ruby legal group to Courtney May's mother, Beatrice. In very polite legal terms, it seems to accuse her of exploiting their name and orders her to leave the Roottrees alone. It's dated from a few weeks before the 5Ps article appeared in News Time, and it seems legitimate. Courtney May also discusses her mother's magazine feature in more detail. Do you know how difficult it was to convince anyone to tell her story? My mom didn't want to show her face because everyone in the media we approached assumed she was lying. Because her story was just like 5P's. But my mom's story was first. Mom was advised by Ryan and Cork to tell News Time that seeing 5Ps on the cover was what inspired her to go public. That's the only way News Time would agree to it and help her get on TV, but it's not true. Our story was first. Yeah, 5Ps and Ruby stole the story. Courtney's defense continues, but much of it seems repetitive and useless. Towards the end of her page, she discusses the DNA test and defends her mother's character. My mom is amazing. She's the nicest woman in the world. She has diabetes and works at a department store, but still managed to help pay for my apartment in the big city so that I can stay with my high school sweetheart. I got a degree in nursing, so I learned about DNA in college, but I'm beginning to think it's all a lie. Mom is 100% confident that there's nobody else who could be the father. Either they did the test wrong, or DNA is complete BS. She's not a liar. So here's the photo. Oh, okay. It's making a little more sense now. Beatrice... Right, okay. Things are making more sense to me in my head. Yeah, Beatrice is the one who was the mother. Corinne, the witness, is the one who witnessed it all happen. And that's why she was listed as a witness. It's all clicking. The puzzle pieces are happening. I think. Okay, so the mother is Beatrice, but I don't think I have a picture of her. It's Beatrice Watts, I assume. And then this would be. I already forgot her name. Courtney May. Oh my god. Yeah, this would be Courtney May. Watts. She was born Watts. Occupation... I don't know, college student? Because she's studying, right? Oh no, she's a nurse. Okay, yeah, she got a degree in nursing. And then this is Danny Newton. Oh, Daniel, I suppose. And this is a picture of him. Why do I have a picture of Zach? Oh yeah, here's the photo. There we go. And then we have this one. Can you put on the normal tree? Maybe? Oh yeah, there's just a... Okay, cool, I guess. Alright, weird. There's also a place for another picture for Chris Rafferty as well. Weird. I wasn't expecting that to add stuff to that tree. I'll be honest. Oh my god, can I go on Chris Rafferty's website? The blonde we never put anyone down for? I don't think we have another picture, do we? You think we can go back on his website? Hold on. What was his website again? Maybe I can just look up Chris Rafferty. Hold on, I'll come back to this. Let's just look up Roottrees Curse. I'm just curious, you know? Show older. And then it'd be this. Yeah, okay. He has an interview? Chris Rafferty's protege site seems to have been discovered by the masses. Gone are the art pictures of his cousin. Instead, it's a list of questions that people keep emailing him. The most relevant ones are the following. Are you the son of Clark Rafferty? Yes, but I didn't grow up with him. I remember him when I was young, when I was a little kid, but I moved away with my mom when I was very young. We left Pennsylvania and moved back home to Virginia. We lived there with Pete, my stepdad. My dad and I spoke a few times when I found his phone number on a check he sent us in the mail when I was 15. He was happy to hear from me, and now he calls me once a month and came to visit me at college. He tells me about things I don't remember, and people like Guy Hudson and Ernie Mattson. My dad and I get along, but obviously we aren't very close. Did you ever meet the Roottrees? I used to know the Roottrees, but never the sisters. I was in the office sometimes when I was a kid, and I definitely met Guy Hudson before he died, but I don't remember. My memory is weird. It's hard to know what I actually remember and what I only think I do because I have pictures. For example, I have a photo from when I was 5 and in the office with my dad, and Guy was there. I made myself sick by eating chocolate, and some woman who I don't know cleaned my face. Oh, maybe it's another picture of Susan. I think we're missing a picture of her. I don't know if my memories of that come from the picture or not. The photo has been added to your evidence. How did you have proof of Ernie Manson's heart condition? I knew Ernie had a heart problem because my dad told me on one of our phone calls. I asked him about the poison because I saw it on the Roottrees Curse website. And he emailed me some old stuff, including proof, but even with the proof, the website didn't take it down. Spelled fiance wrong. I'm not good at spelling or writing. I'm good at painting and other art. I'm getting to school to learn how to edit movies. I want to make cartoons someday. Lulu is much better at spelling. I respect it. I get it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so it's Chris, Clark, Guy, and then I assume Susan. Maybe. I don't know who else it can be. Guy. Clark. Or Chris, I'm sorry. And then Clark. There you are. Okay. I think that's all of them. All the photos we're missing. Yes. Okay, cool. Cool. Alright. We really didn't have to do that, but cool. Do we know what Beatrice Watts' job is still? Does it mention it in the... in this? Oh, I think it's mentioned she's a cashier, right? Or something like that? Yeah, she works at a department store. What, I don't, is she just a cashier? I don't know what she is. Is there another word for this? I don't know what else to put. Yeah, I think cashier is good enough, as far as I can tell. Retail, right, but I don't think that... Is that an option? Oh, it is, okay. Yeah, retail. I didn't see it while I was scrolling. Okay. And she's probably I think it's a good chance that she is. Like, absolutely. We're still missing a piece of evidence, but it's not a big deal. Oh, maybe we can look up Corinne somewhere? Yeah, Corinne is, 5Ps isn't, based on this information. I wonder if we can look up Corinne. Yeah, I think we already did. I think we tried and it said no. It told me to go fuck myself. Yeah. Maybe in Butler County? I think, oh, we did. Cool. I don't know what else would be missing then from like this. Maybe Beatrice Watts we can look up. It wouldn't? What would it be? It'd be somewhere else, right? Oh yeah, I guess the best we do have is Piketty. Nah. No. It's either like, it's not a document, it's a website that we just don't have. Because when were they hired? It was whatever this one is. Yeah, 78, 79 was when they were hired, I think. Yeah. Yeah, then Susan Ford was hired as well. Yeah, I don't know where else we would find it, but honestly, I don't feel like we need it, so I'm fine with not having it. It's whatever. Because we know that he's not, just based on the information we have. We can make that, you know, that distinction, that conclusion. Yeah, I think we got it. I'm not, it's whatever. I think the only one that's like kind of iffy is Elias, because we don't know for a fact, but like Frank. But like, I don't know. Yeah, probably like impossible for him to prove it. Because I don't know if anybody else would be impossible to prove. Because we know that Stewart wasn't. Mark Clementine probably was. Like, we can make that guess. Just based on the information we got. We have 2 still left to identify? Who? Who did I miss? What? Okay, whatever. The main tree? Oh god, yeah. What the hell? why? How would I determine that? But how is one of them not a Roottrie? That doesn't make any sense. Because unless one of them is adopted... But wasn't she pregnant twice? Okay, hold on. We'll go there in a second. Let's just finish going through this. Yeah, we know Stuart isn't because he was adopted. We know Mark is just based on the information we have. We know that Courtney May is because she was the original one. Five Piece probably isn't, and it's because Ruby Spratt is using him in order to get money. Then we have these two, and we made the assumption that the older one is the Roottrie while the younger one isn't. Yeah, Lang Min we said is because there's the whole cover-up situation. We said Flavio is because the mother really was in an awful situation. And probably got the money from Guy trying to, like... I mean, just be an asshole and try and pay her off, basically, I guess. And then with these two, we kind of had confirmation based on the interactions and the articles we saw. Okay. So, these two, Ronald and Robert... Interesting. Okay, hold on. Oh, it's Rob Roottrie, right? That's what they call him? Whatever. Whatever. It's Robbie, thank you. It's Robbie and Ron. Robbie Roottrie was released from French prison after serving a few years for assault. His embezzlement and arrest were partially featured in 6 Pieces, as Robbie's participation in the Clancy Trust was a key piece of evidence in Sam's favor, and have since become much more publicly infamous. He's not yet returned to the United States, but when journalists reached out to him recently about the death of his mother, he had issued a blanket statement a few days ago. The death of my mother was hard on our family. My brother and I, after spending time together caring for her in mourning, have finally made amends. It was a highly transformative few weeks when it came to our relationship. I'm in recovery from my addiction, and a major aspect of that process is that I wish to stay private. And then how about, it's Ron Roottrie? Yeah, we can look at RR Productions. Ronnie was announced as president of Roottrie during the Roottrie Rift, but the next press release immediately reversed the announcement and instead stated that Ron and Clark would take over. A few weeks later, Ron was dropped from the title entirely. There are hundreds of results from this development, but most articles are retelling of basic details. Some veer into heavy speculation based on an article about Ron in Business Watch. Also, Ron has also done some interviews saying that the truth of what went on behind the scenes is not something he wishes to discuss. Instead, he hopes to release a movie about it someday. 3 weeks ago, Ron's mother Gwen died in Paris, France. He and his brother Robbie have seemingly made amends. Okay. So, Business Watch. Oops. Yeah, it might be because he's not a Roottrie and he wouldn't be allowed. Business Watch ran an article about 2 months after the Roottrie Rift. What really happened with Roottrie? The article mentions that nobody from Roottrie that they reached out to was willing to go on the record. Instead, the timeline of events has been constructed from public record, accidental leaks, and a source on the inside. The only parts that are new to you are the most vague parts, the ones supposedly confirmed by an anonymous source. The timeline says that the family actually held a preliminary vote after Carl Roottrie died, but before the release of 6 Pieces and decided they wanted Ron Roottrie to take over because of experience running RR Productions and because he was a well-known and well-respected Roottrie. But Ron seemed way too eager and personally motivated. They were worried he would gut the Clanstead Trust to remove Robbie Roottrie. The family was notoriously unwilling to do anything that could risk their wealth. They stalled, and Ron became frustrated with the delay. When Six Pieces came out, he saw his chance to force action while the family was in the limelight, and released the press release himself in an attempt to get the ball rolling faster. This caused chaos within the family. They tried to save face by allowing Ron to take over as co-president with Clark, but according to Business Watch's source, Ron was impossible to deal with. He seemed like he was unwilling to protect the Clanstead Trust, and they eventually let him go. Yeah, and then it just went to Clark. Hold on 1 second, I'm just sending a message. Yeah, we can... Okay, so... Yeah, this basically just says, like... Ron is still trying to get rid of his brother. Right? Yeah, we can look up Gwyneth as well. I definitely spelled it wrong. Something's wrong with me. Where'd I fuck up? Tell me. Oh, it's not Gwyneth, it's Gwyn. My bad. Oops. Nope, nope, that's still not right. Oh, I put the Y first. There. Was somewhat well-known actress who was active in the 1950s. Her biggest role was in the minor hit movie Guys Like Us. She died in Paris, France about 3 weeks ago after leaving Hollywood. She made no effort to stay in the limelight, and most obituaries tend to focus on her largest role, Guys Like Us. Not much is known about her death, except that it was announced that she died peacefully in her sleep while being treated for a sudden severe case of pneumonia. Before that, she had apparently been in relatively good health, according to her friends and family in Paris. She was 67. Show older? I don't know. Oh, come on. Two secretaries cut their hair short and pose as businessmen to get ahead in life until one of them falls in love with their client and hilarity ensues. Starring Gwyn Roottrie, Leslie Florence, and Harrison Lane. Okay. Why is that? Okay. It was fairly popular at the box office and made its budget back, but was seen as somewhat formulaic, so it didn't really stand the test of time compared to other classic films of the era. It was recently released for the first time on home video due to Roottrie Mania. The time it took to manufacture and ship VJ's copies of Guys Like Us meant that it missed the height of the craze. Even so, it did sell modestly well, and there have been talks of a remake. Okay, so maybe we look up Leslie Florence and Harrison Lane. We can also look up the remake, yeah. Was the other actress besides Gwyn Roottrie and Guys Like Us? Especially considering she got a second billion Gwyn. Even with the success in the Clan, she retired from Hollywood almost immediately after her co-starring role. Not much was known about her until recently, when Guys Like Us was re-released right at the tail end of Roottrie Mania. Recently, as part of a myriad of articles and research people have done into those surrounding the Roottries, it came out that she died of a genetic disease known as Huntington's in the late 1960s. Yeah, maybe they had a child. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what else to look up here. I guess the remake, but... The Guys Like Us remake! Oh, yeah, it's actually a thing. Guys, it's discussed a few times on the website called Movie News. The logo is a cow and a film canister. The rumored cast is Cameron Diaz, and the role originated by Gwyn, Linda Florentino, and Chris O'Donnell. The remake has been put on an indefinite hiatus due to its director, who's speculated to be Ron Roottrees, dropping out in the wake of a serious medical issue. Oh, if it's a genetic disease, then Ron might have it. Okay, so there's nothing there. Yeah, so it is absolutely... I think we can go with that. There seems like there's still a few things missing, but... Because I don't know what we would look up to get more, you know? Oh, what about in, is it Starlit? No, that's Defunct. Oh, Silver Screen, that's Defunct. I don't know where now. Oh, I guess he's a company leader. Oh no, we did that already. It's just Wild Bill? Yeah, sure. I'll look up Wild Bill real quick. Hold on. Oh, there is. Oh my god, is there actually an update? Known for his role in Fortune Favors the Grave, and to make an appearance at Gwyn Roottrees' funeral. Because of his absence, there are rumors online he must have already died. But according to a reporter that tracked him down, he's in his 70s, still lives in Paris, and is still in perfectly fine health. He even went on record as saying, "I think it was Mark Twain who said, the rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. That seems appropriate today." The few years I spent with Gwyn were just one stop along the very long and complicated journey that has been my life and career. The last time we spoke was when I signed the divorce papers. She asked me never to contact her or the kids again. I've always respected those wishes. They never reached out to me either, even as adults, so I have to assume they had some idea of why she hated me so much, and the sacrifices she made on my behalf. I wish them well, and am truly sorry for their loss, but we've all been strangers for 40 years, so I can confidently say they wouldn't have wanted me there. In fact, I'm confident my presence would have ruined it. Wow. I don't even know what to look up here. It would be about his health, but oh, there is an older article about Leslie, but yeah, there isn't even an old article about her. Remake hiatus. Fuck. Yeah, maybe Huntington's disease? I don't know how to spell it. I gotta go back. Where is she? There. Is a neurodegenerative disease that most recognizably causes memory issues and uncontrollable movements in the limbs. After symptom onset, somewhere between 30 and 50, those affected by Huntington's typically live another 15 to 18 years as their symptoms worsen. There is no cure. Huntington's is passed genetically from parent to child. The gene that causes Huntington's works in such a way that if a parent has the disease, there's a 50-50 chance that their child will get it. Huntington's cannot be passed on recessively, meaning it cannot skip a generation. In other words, if someone has a mother or father with Huntington's, but they themselves did not receive it from their parent, their children and their grandchildren and so on will also never have it. Gotcha. Until the 1990s, it was impossible to test for Huntington's. Instead, symptoms would usually appear later in life. This would often be after the person affected already had children. It would then be impossible to know if their children had it, as it was a 50-50 chance. In 1993, due to determining which gene causes Huntington's, it did become possible to test for children for it and know if the disease was passed on or not. For a variety of complex reasons, however, children are considered unable to consent to such a test and are therefore very rarely tested unless they're showing early symptoms. Yeah, no, it's not a Huntington disease for... The issue is they both have the same list. I mean, it's probably Ron, because it said that Ron is the one who went on hiatus, right? I don't know, Butler County Times, Ron Roottrees. Did I already look this up? Maybe. Fuck. Yeah, it's probably Ron. I don't know who else it could be. It's also not like we're missing a bunch. We're missing 3 things. We can look at this real quick, I guess. Wait. Sure, I lost Jacob and Gwen divorced Wild Bill just before she had her second. Not even I can blame him for that. I've seen what he gets up to in Starlit. Wait, what? I'm surprised that this is the one considered... Right, while... Yeah. Just before she had her second. Not even I can blame her for that. To see what she gets up in Starlit. Right. Yeah, because I think I already looked up Robbie, right? I think it was the first thing I did because I didn't know whether his nickname was Rob or Robbie. What about in Business Watch? It's the same thing. Yeah, no, they wouldn't have known. Well, no, the issue with... Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, they wouldn't have known whether she was pregnant the first time, yeah. They would just assume she was... that her current pregnancy was the second one. Yeah. Yeah, I think we can make the assumption that Ronald is the root tree, whereas Robbie isn't. No, all the way around, right? Oops, my bad. I had them mixed up. No, it doesn't lock. Yeah, Ronnie is the one who... Yeah, Ron Roottrees, I'm sorry. No, good enough. We know there's stuff we're missing, but honestly, it doesn't really matter because we can just come to that conclusion. So yeah, so Ron is the one who probably isn't. And then Robbie is a root tree. Yep. Okay, I think that's all of them, right? I think this is as good as we're gonna get Alright, here we go. I'm ready. Yeah, and a bunch of pictures. Yippee! Hey.
Beatrice and Courtney May. Clark, can you swing another test against Bonnie's DNA?
This time I'll be sure to have them verify both samples in person.
1 week later.
Using the family tree you filled out, as well as DNA tests, we were able to uncover the truth behind all the inconsistencies.
Cool.
Clark's handling the business, but I've come to thank you and fill you in on everything we've learned. Buckle up, because it's been one heck of a week. Actually, that's an understatement. It's not every week you discover your family company is being sabotaged by someone they trusted.
Right.
But that's the kind of time we've been having. Like I said, buckle up. Maybe grab some popcorn. We'll start with Guy Hudson.
Yeah.
Guy had a frankly ridiculous number of potential children. What shocked me is how many graduated from potential to confirmed. We can even prove he was aware of them. The smoking gun was how he used company money to pay off a lot of women.
Right.
He hid it with a method inspired by his idol, Elias. 5-piece flavors. The flavors he was paying to research were a ruse. He developed flavors based on the initials of the women he was paying. Which was really stupid, considering one of their names started with X.
I think we did try to look at the initials, but I think it wasn't the initial. It might have been like the children we tried to look at, and not like the actual women.
Let's start with Christine. Guy was paying her under the name Caviar, but there were some other clues. James was born 9 months after Zach's party.
Right.
Christine was there with Guy, and when she got pregnant, she panicked. Steve stepped up. He even turned it into one of his recipe stories.
Right.
Not all of Guy's affairs led to offspring. He may have slept with Robin Martin, but she didn't have children, so we'll never know.
Okay.
Also, not every child of Guy's affair partners were his. Robert Garland was born after his parents had already moved to Boston.
Yeah, we knew that.
Skipping Beatrice for now. Up next is Lang Xin-yu. When Guy showed up in China, she was into America. And Americans. Dare I say redheads, even? When she got pregnant, her father paid key genes to fake IVF.
Yep.
They claimed her sister was unable to conceive, but her sister and Jerry had their own son, Mark.
Yeah. So we knew that.
Sonia Alves was soon after. Nia was married at a very young age to a much older husband.
Yeah.
She resented him. I don't blame her. They allegedly spent no time together in private. Guy was in Brazil during Christmas 1979. It's the only Christmas not in the records.
Oh, okay.
Flavio was born 9 months later, and like the others, Guy started paying Sonia.
So we knew that one too.
Last was Susan Ford, hired to translate for Guy's overseas trips. It's easy to read into Guy's donation to her school, but there's no definitive proof there. She and Guy were witnessed together near the end of his life. Susan's husband was convinced he couldn't be the father of her daughters. Guy, though, paid double. The price of twins.
Hell yeah.
So, what about 5 Ps? Felix Fellow's mother, Joanna, doesn't have a 5 pieces flavor. On top of that, his story doesn't really add up.
Oh, you know what we might have done? We might have only looked at Joanna. That's another thing we might have done. When looking at like the names of the ingredients, of like the flavors, we might have only looked at Joanna and stopped there. I don't remember. I'd have to go back and see. Because I don't remember. Either we looked at the children, or we only looked at Joanna, and because we didn't see Joanna, we stopped.
His mother already left the company by the time Guy became president, and his lyrics indicate he was born sometime around 1975.
Right.
Alone, that wouldn't necessarily prove it. But there are some suspicious connections between Felix and the company's current lawyer, Ruby Spratt.
Yeah.
They both grew up in Portland, in foster care. And according to the local paper, they definitely knew one another.
Yeah.
Ruby was the one who approached the Roottrees to begin with. It was all a setup. Ruby and Felix saw my book's challenge to the Clancet Trust as an opportunity. His mother really had worked for Roottree, and Ruby was a respected lawyer.
Oh yeah, no, we did. I don't even think we looked at the birth date. Yeah.
She exploited my family's greed, worked her way into control of the trust, and ensured Felix got a piece.
Oh, I don't think we looked
They
up
made
Roottrees
some
Rift in
mistakes
Business Watch.
along the way.
I don't remember, at least.
If you look at the 2 DNA tests that Ruby handled,
Oh, I never
they were
looked at
both
that.
supposedly tested against Bonnie Hudson.
Left and right sets of numbers are essentially signatures that perfect match the data, the DNA. Oh Jesus, that perfectly match the DNA of the 2 people in question. It's listed as Jane Doe, but the Roottrees company let them know it was from Bonnie Kellogg. Okay.
But the 2 signatures that should both represent Bonnie don't match. After Clark and I confronted her, Ruby lawyered up. Ironic, I know. We suspect Ruby had Donatico test Felix against his own mother's DNA. He had a
Yeah, from the
hairbrush.
hairbrush.
They sent the female sample in remotely. On the second test, Bonnie's sample was tested locally, but Courtney May's was not. Ruby's been throwing away samples.
Just eating some
We think
popcorn,
she
man,
sent
no
her
doubt
own
about
hair
it.
instead of
That's
Courtney
awesome.
May's, but it could have been anyone's. Ruby and Felix were in cahoots. As for why, they were both advocates of wealth redistribution.
Right, they wanted the money. Oh, I didn't even think about looking her up in the Heterald. Oh no, I did. Yeah, because it was about her speech. No, we did do that.
A noble effort. But once they controlled the family fortune, they became just as greedy as the worst members of my family. The money corrupted them. They were so eager to personally wield the wealth for their own cause that they sabotaged any other claims.
So, yeah, he wasn't.
That finally brings us to Anonymom, aka Beatrice Watts. Her tales of guys' parties and payoffs were true. She even approached Ruby before 5Ps was on news time.
Yeah.
Ruby used Beatrice's truths to make Felix's lies feel real, then ruined the DNA test so that Beatrice looked phony in the public court of opinion. I feel worst for her in all of this.
There we go.
While Ruby and Felix stole the show, there were some other potential
Yeah.
new family members as well. Miracle Roottree was less of an open and shut case. That said, it's very likely he had a son with Mary Beth Clementine. Not Stuart. Mary Beth adopted him before she ever set foot in Butler County.
Yeah.
That leaves Mark. The timeline fits. He showed up about 9 months after Mary Beth visited Miracle. And the basket baby story is a bit too convenient.
Yeah.
If that's not enough on its own. He was also bailed out by the sister
Right.
of Edith
Yeah, we knew that.
Miracle Jr.'s wife, after she changed her name to win that silly contest. Our best guess is that Mark was told by his mother whose son he was, and used that fact to put some pressure on Miracle Jr. We have no real proof of that, but nothing else really makes sense for why they'd be connected in that way.
Yep.
Elias's affair was the most ambiguous.
Yeah.
Gwyneth was able to coerce Elias to do things he wouldn't have otherwise done, like pressure to include me in the family. My son even mentioned them arguing about someone named Beth. Combined with Gwyneth's lisp, it's possible the name was actually Bess.
We
Unfortunately,
came to that conclusion.
all we know about Bess Williams is that she wrote his book and died not long after, leaving her only son an orphan. The timeline fits with Wildcat, but there's no record if she had any other relationship. Honestly, I wouldn't say we had enough evidence either way.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if Elias cheated. Of course, I'm a bit biased. Regardless, we haven't gotten in touch with any of the Williams clan yet. That means we haven't been able to do a DNA test. As Clark mentioned, from here on out, all of our DNA tests will be in person for both parties.
Right, so that was question mark.
Lastly, we have a bit of a curveball. Ron Roottree isn't related to us by blood. Gwyn was definitely pregnant, so it's likely Robbie is.
Yeah.
When Ron and Robbie went to visit their mother at the end of her life, something changed. Additionally, there have been a few rumors circling around Ron. RR Productions canceled the Guys Like Us remake due to the director's illness. At the same time, Ron's wife Penelope began doing benefits for Huntington's
I didn't even
disease,
think to look her up.
stating that she had become familiar with it. Huntington's is the same disease that Gwyn's former co-star Leslie Florence had. It's passed from parent to child. It can't skip a generation. Because Gwyn and Wild Bill didn't have Huntington's, and Ron seems to, it's impossible Gwyn was his mother. I recently confirmed all this with Ron.
Okay, so yeah, it's confirmed.
At the end of her life, Gwyn told Ron the story. Leslie and Bill had an affair the same year Leslie learned she had Huntington's. Leslie got pregnant. Leslie wasn't likely to survive to see her child grow up. And even if she did, she didn't want to be a burden. She begged Gwyn and Wild Bill to adopt her child. Gwyn did. Mere weeks after she found out she was having her own son, she also took in Ron.
Wow.
Wild Bill was a problem. Unreliable and a serial adulterer. Gwyn divorced him and never saw him again. Gwyn had already told Starlet she was pregnant, so it never really made waves when people saw her with a child in Paris. There was gossip during her divorce when she was discovered to be pregnant again.
Yeah.
In actuality, it was the final months of her only pregnancy. To lay low, she stayed in Paris long enough that even her own family never had reason to question the timeline. It's one heck of a story, and frankly, nobody could be expected to piece the timeline together. Not with what few mentions of Gwyn's past have survived. But the Huntingtons itself? That's proof.
Right, yeah.
Ron suing Robbie to remove him from the Clancid Trust was a huge moment in my story, and a major catalyst for this entire investigation. Finding out that it's been pretty much backwards this whole time has been a bit surreal. So that's where we're at. Looking over the information you sent us was invaluable. You got everything absolutely correct.
Let's go!
Why did we even bother hiring a team? You figured it all out solo. All this information, this entire story, it's a lot, in more ways than one. Some of it has the potential to destroy marriages and ruin relationships. We're handling it all very, very carefully, but we couldn't have gotten here without you. And with that, I guess our tale has finally, truly come to an end. What a strange one it was. No words can express how grateful I am to you for untangling this mess. Honestly, I've had enough of my family's eccentricities and scandals for one lifetime. I imagine you have as well.
Yeah.
And if not,
Oh no.
well, there's always Elias's and Gwyneth's brothers and sisters.
What?
Attention!
Oh,
Attention,
no.
Roottrees. This is 5-Piece coming at you from the real world.
Oh shit, the hit 5-piece song playing.
You say money is the root of all your problems. root of all your
Man,
problems.
y'all are hypocrites. Sitting back
Oh
in
my
your
God.
massive estates, built from the cash that your
Well, yeah,
ancestors
that's-
gave you, acting like you somehow
That's
deserve
it.
based
That's
on
the
your
Roottrees are dead.
affiliations. Yo,
And
look
Rootree
here,
Mania.
sonny, don't you come for our money, or you might burn bright in hellfire someday, like that Manson chick.
I think 5-piece should get Buddy Still just because he's fucking funny. I agree. I think you're right.
Yo, it's disturbing, catching a sermon from a geezer who's never known hurt, but blurts out these claims that somehow we're sinners cause we didn't earn it. When all of your worth it came free with your name, you expect me to treat your lectures on greed as some expert creed from he without blame. How about instead, I turn my other cheeks and spread them. When you give me a kiss, you'll know just where to aim.
Oh my god.
You say
I think it's... I had a lot of fun with this.
all your problems. Let me
It was a mix. Because like I had a lot of fun with it, but then there's also the part of me that's like, man, there was so much. Which made it fun. Maybe I should have taken a break between the original, like the Roottrees are dead and Rootree Mania, but I don't really think that far ahead. But either way, still a lot of fun. Also, fuck Guy Hudson.
That's actually extortion with your candy ass name, synonymous with sweets. Oh, you wanna call me classless? I'm gangster from Portland, but I play that game. I came up on the streets.
Click the cassette icon in game to see detailed credits for your song. Oh yeah, I forgot that was there.
Monopoly is toppling. When I knock, have G's.
Top off my pockets, please.
Cause the same God that got to steal my mom from me is what he wants, right? For you to live in poverty. And if you're suddenly not eager to unhand that fortune, that's unfortunate. I guess I'm gonna have to take my portion and I'll do it all legally.
Okay, now we're good.
Courtroom, decorum, I'll way past your fancy ass doorman.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the fact, because I think in like either the first part or second part, we looked at the like the research stuff. I know we did, but I think we only looked at Joanne. We either only looked at Joanna or Joanne, whatever her name is, and because it wasn't right, we stopped.
Whoever calls dollars the root of all evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon thieves, you're the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burning spoons for the needle. Whoever calls dollars the root of all evil, just trying to make
Which is really funny.
small pursuits of real people.
Because it might have been the case like we only had her name or something like that. I don't know. Let's see. Where's it taking us? A room full of money, perhaps? Or is the game broken? Is the game broken? The game might be broken. I think the game's broken. Aha. Oh, no, there it is. Okay. It took a second, but we got there. Oh my goodness. Okay. But yeah, that's the Roottrees are dead, baby. That's it. That's all there is. That's all she wrote. I don't really have much else to say. I had a lot of fun. I will play another. I was gonna say I play another detective-like game, but we're already playing Layton, so you know. Puzzles are great when they don't involve triangles. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The VOD will be up tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'll be live Sunday, playing more Layton probably. Or something else, depending on how I'm feeling. We'll see! But that's pretty much it. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you on Sunday for whatever. Goodbye!